Hey everybody, and welcome to the site, lasersreview.com. So I wanted to thank you for coming across us, and what you may notice right off the bat is that what we've designed here is kind of what I think is very needed in the industry, which is basically a thorough review of all the various manufacturers, the companies, the brands, the models. There's a lot of information out there. And if you've been looking at lasers for a little while, or even just a little bit, it can be very overwhelming, as a lot of the information out there is actually just mostly marketing babble. There's a lot of unsubstantiated claims, and a lot of that terminology and what they use out there as collateral, again, doesn't really tie back a lot of times to studies. And so with this site, I like to really adhere to, and with my team behind me, a lot of the information that you might not normally come across when you're visiting different websites, you're talking to various companies and their sales reps, who at the end of the day, they just want to push that one brand. And of course, they're just doing their job. So we can't really blame them for that. But the goal of this site is really to kind of, in a sense, clean up the industry, and to bring a lot of more of the truth and the information that you, the consumer, may not be able to see behind the scenes. So there's a lot of information that you can get, and then there's also a lot of information that you can't get. And I'm talking about, information that you generally would know if you were inside the manufacturing facility, or if you were inside the company behind the closed doors, in those meetings, in R&D. So again, a lot of that information I'm now bringing forward onto the internet in the form of webinars, which a lot of practitioners, and even also home users will cater to both, can actually come in. They can get a lot of their questions answered about really just laser therapy as a whole, studies, variety of brands, and that'll be one educational source that you can go to on our site. We do those webinars at least once a month. You can also check out some of the real hot topics that are intensely debated and have been for the last 30 years in our blog. We have frequently asked questions, which actually will come under the title of more education, product education. That was really designed basically so even if you know nothing about laser therapy, you're thinking about trying it, you can get in there, you can go from A to Z, step by step, educate yourself, and get information, again, that you're not going to see anywhere else. There's no sort of pushing of sales or anything behind that. It's just pure education. The goal is to make you a very educated consumer so you can make a very clear purchased decision. And to arrive at that point, believe it or not, you can actually, with the right kind of information and asking the right kind of questions, you can actually figure out, and come up with a first, second, third, if you will, or fourth sometimes, options of models, devices that are going to really work best for you. And now to kind of further take the financial risk or any lack of confidence after that point, after that decision, keep in mind that a lot of these companies actually give trials, okay, with their devices. Anywhere from 30 to 45 to 60-day trials. It just really depends on the company, the model, etc. So again, that's really where you're going to say, did I make the best decision when I got this laser? Let me see what kind of results I'm getting. And if you're not, you can always return it. So that's something that a lot of people don't know about. And actually, the better lasers, I found this, is that they actually have the shorter trial periods. And the reason is very simple, because if you get really great results within a shorter period of time, that's usually enough to decide, am I going to keep this laser or I'm not going to keep this laser? So there's a lot of ins and outs that I end up coaching a variety of different clients on. Of course, all coaching is free, all education is free. You can access a lot here on the site, which I would really encourage you to do before actually reaching out to us. We also designed a questionnaire that are really the key crucial questions that if you go from each question to each question, you'll very quickly arrive at several different options that you can look at. So it really streamlines the process, so you can literally save yourself tens to hundreds of hours. And I'm not really exaggerating there. It's taken me many, many years to actually slowly gather, distill, and discern a lot of the information that's out there. Formed a lot of relationships with a lot of key individuals that have founded many of the different companies out there that are on the front lines in terms of passing legislation with laser therapy in multiple states. And so that's kind of one crucial piece of it. At the same time, this is not just about lasers. The other piece of this is if you are, for example, a practitioner, and I'm just speaking to practitioners, not residential users, But the other side of getting a good device is you might get the best device in the world, but what about the marketing? What about the ROI? What about how you're going to really incorporate it into your practice as an individual? And that's kind of a piece that a lot of people forget about, and a lot of companies are very weak on. So I've also taken a very close look at which companies have really excellent marketing support, essentially, really good training, and can really work with you in a customized way, have the resources to do that, and also have a proven track record. A lot of these companies might say they have marketing support, and that justifies them jacking up the price $15,000. But really, when you go in, you see they just have a few people with marketing degrees, don't really have a track record for building thriving, successful practices. So I'm also an individual that's just very well connected in the industry, and part of working with me is I also basically share those connections with you. Anything you basically need to be successful. So I'm always here. Ask me any questions. You can call up anytime. You can send an email. I also have a team that works with me as well, because we do get a lot of calls. A lot of people are seeking us out because we're a tremendous resource. Anyways, thanks for coming to the site again, and check it out, find all the material, check out the videos, go through the questionnaire, and reach out to us if we can help you in any way. Thanks.